Whew, okay, you got through that section. That was long. Let's take a second and talk about some of what you just read. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, what does it mean to own a piece of real estate? When you buy a piece of real estate, it comes with what's called the bundle of rights. And I was always taught to think about this like literally like just a bundle of sticks tied together, because all of these rights can be separated from each other, but generally they convey as one when you buy a house or an investment property, for example. But what are they? Well, they are possession, enjoyment, control, disposition, and exclusion. The first right is possession. You have a right when you own a piece of real estate to possess it. It is yours. It belongs to you. The next one is control. You have a right to control what happens to that property, how it's changed, how it's not changed, who's there, who's not there. Next, you have exclusion. Exclusion means you have the right to that property exclusively. You can deny entry to other people. That's why you see no trespassing signs, because of the right of exclusion. Disposition means you can get rid of that property whenever you want. You can sell it, you can will it to somebody, you can pass it down through inheritance, you could gift it to somebody. Last right is enjoyment. You might hear this referred to as the right to quiet enjoyment of the property. And that just means you have the right to enjoy that property and whatever it has to offer without interference. So for example, the right to quiet enjoyment comes up when we talk about things like building an airport and now planes are coming over houses where they weren't before. Well, that's interrupting people's right to quiet enjoyment. And depending on the degree of that interruption, it may cause a problem for the people who want to build the airport. Those are your 5 rights when you own a piece of property. Now, like I said, some of those rights can be taken out when you convey ownership to somebody. For example, when you're renting a property to someone, they're getting some of those rights. They're getting the right to occupy the property. That's enjoyment and possession. What they don't get, for example, is the right to disposition. They can't decide to sell that house if they're renting it from you because they don't own that house. So they don't get all of the rights, but they do get some of them. And you as the landlord give up some of your rights. For example, you now have to give a certain amount of notice to the tenants before you can enter that property.